I'm telling you guys right now, this new rendition cursed will curse you. Hello movie lovers, welcome to Alice's. I'm Ellie and in this video you'll be seeing me. No, you're not. Joking. I'm reviewing Netflix's new medieval series Curse with no spoilers. How I'm gonna do that? I guess you need to figure out yourself. For those who are familiar with Arthurian legend in the early centuries, King Arthur of Camelot, the legendary British leader, and his famous Excalibur sword given by Nimue, aka the Lady of the Lake. And you think you know the story to it? I'm telling you guys right now, this new rendition cursed will curse you. That's from the Lady of the Lake's point of view. Nimue, a young, headstrong, fey girl born with magical powers, destined to be a female warrior that leads her people and at the same time juggles with war, conquest, love story, and a famous destiny in bringing the sword to the rightful owner. That's basically sum up the whole story. So, fantasy lovers, get ready to buckle up the seatbelts. This 10 episodes is quite a show to mend your yearning towards that kind of vibe. The show kicks off with a promising start and impressive battle sequence, but fails to grasp on the story's direction. Best way to put it, it's a good try, but the complicated storyline makes the viewers freaking confusing. I'll tell you why. First of all, good basic story. But first of all, Curse portrays a good background story based on Arthurian legends, the Excalibur, or as the show calls, the Sword of the First King. How he came into possession of a young fey sorceress named Nimue, and how she is destined for a great adventure alongside Arthur, Merlin, Gawain, Morgana, and Squirrel. Sorry, I mean Percival. Those names are well-known influential names of the Arthurian legends, but the storyline was pretty messed up for me due to the disconnected, complicated storyline that viewers cannot assemble together. Probably Arthur's story has been retold many times to echo the concerns of the age. That's why I kind of felt this version a little bit off in the earlier episode, but it gets better throughout the season. The show does a lot of teasing here and there, and then at the end leaves us with a lot of questions unsolved. For example, why Nimue is the chosen one? Why Nimue was chased and scarred by a demonic bear? Why Nimue is half fey and half druid but didn't show any resemblance of a fey like horns? The origin of the sword, and a long list of other questions. Furthermore, the pace of the story was off. Sometimes when you go too much into detail on other unimportant things, forced compacted inside the 10 episodes, it feels like the story are moving too fast, too compact, that you tend to ignore other important aspects of the story. Second one, great castings. But Cursed lined up some great castings. Some of it are familiar faces we have seen from other shows. Catherine Langford from 13 Reasons Why, Devin Terrell from Ophelia, Daniel Charmand from Teen Wolf and the Originals. What a lineup you guys have! But the show chooses to do a different archetype and a new character build up for the characters mentioned. For example, Nimue, Lady of the Lake, supposed to be strong, powerful, even with such unbearable upbringing. That's supposed to make her even stronger than ever. I mean, he's the main character after all. No offense, Catherine Langford is wonderful. She nailed a strong, willful heart, but her characters, sometimes looks dull, clueless, and make quite numerous absurd decisions throughout the whole season. One second she's powerful and one next second she's hopeless. The other character, Arthur, supposed to be the king, a loyal, trusted, noble, wise leader worth of owning the Excalibur sword, but he's the complete opposite in the story. He started off as untrusted mercenary with lots of family issues who's longing for honor. King of England, I have no idea for that. Probably they've been saving for the next sequel. Next character that I'm so disappointed at is Merlin the Great Wizard's character. I mean, he's the great wizard. Why else he's being named for that? He started off in the story as a cunning and useless old drunkard who loses his magical charms. Why are you guys portraying Merlin? The only reason I'm binging is to watch King Arthur and Merlin, you know, and you give me these? Luckily we are blessed and Gustav Skarsgård presents. Do you guys know which character built up that saves the show? Squirrel. No, this squirrel and the Weeping Monk. They both killed it. Third, great cinematography and animations, but I personally love those comical transitions. Seriously, it really blends well with the show's theme. Those magical animations are great, sound effect to match up with enchantment, and fight scenes were fantastic. But the storyline to associate those wonderful magical charms is not emphasized enough. In such magical fantasy story, the show fails to show how cursed the curse is to its maximum. It fails to highlight what they should have been highlighting in the first place. Another thing is they've been experimenting with a lot of things, you know, combining Viking vibes with the presence of the Red Spear, Combo the Ice King, Lord of the Rings aspects on the way the sword can be destroyed only by Fey Fire, and the Game of Thrones vibe because probably they have the Ice King as a villain. For whatever reason, the show is setting for R-rated due to violence portrayed throughout the show. I think it's best for the show to stick with a young adult drama for younger age viewers rather than going into Game of Thrones gory territory, because the gory they're showing is not as much as what happens inside GOT, okay? So moreover, there's too much to show in a short time. The main character Nimue needed to bear the weight of personal growth, her losses, her cheesy love life, and her untrained and don't want to be trained kind of attitude. With various sets of enemies, paladins, Utherpan Dragon, Combo the Ice King, Trinity Gods coming along her way for the sword to gain power. You get me when I say it's too much. Despite its confusing plot and complicated mythology that's sometimes quite cheesy, there's a watchability to Cursed, because luckily the showrunners managed to make the show highly engaging for me to finish watching it. For those who love a rainy sword fight with wolves, scheming nuns, magical fantasy vibes, and historical settings, Cursed is definitely made for you. Hence, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Good try, but it has a space for improvement to work with for the next sequel. Oh snap! Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button and share it. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Love y'all, and I see you in my next video. Ciao!